Okay, on this video I'm going to talk about how to add the prisoner saved up at the top there, because right now it says 0, and then when you collect the prisoner it'll say 1 there and a door will open up. So let me just go through this game real quick and show you what I got going on here. So that's talked about that before. So you're going to come up to this door here and it's going to say collect all prisoners to open door. So you can't open this door until you collect all the prisoners. So I've only got the 1 prisoner right now, but you can make multiple prisoners later in your game, and then you can have the same setup for your door. But for just demonstrating here on this video, this game right here, I'm just going to do the 1 prisoner. So he's going to collect the key, then he's going to go grab the prisoner, then see at the top it says prisoner save 1, and now the door is going to be open. Door is open. Of course I locked it where there's nothing there, of course, but that could happen too, you know, where you don't have anything after you open the door, but there could be something behind the door, a way out, you know, to the next level if you wanted to. If you didn't want to have a boss, you know, you could have just collect all the prisoners after, you know, going through the room and, you know, destroying the monsters and all that stuff. Then you have to basically save each prisoner, and then once you save them all, then you have a door open up and you go to the next level. So let me show you how I did that. Alright, so there is another message box I created. It says collect all prisoners to open door, origin 00 for the X and Y, and for the message I have alarm set up here, and I set up for 100 numbers, 100 steps. Alarm 0 kicks in, add event there. Then you say the same thing, 100 steps, alarm 0. Then you're going to have the message be destroyed. So you could change that number to 50 if you wanted to, so it'll read less. You have less time to read it. Draw underscore sprint, sprint underscore index, comma, image index 200 200. So that's going to be centered. Make sure the depth's at minus 1000, so that way it shows up first on screen. Because if you don't have that depth in there, then the image for the message box is not going to show up. Then you're going to have this collect all prisoner door. So that's the door for, let me show you here. Okay, so this is the door. It says collect all prisoners door. So that's what I'm talking about right now. So right now the door's locked, closed. Make sure it's visible. Make sure it's parented to object wall basics. If it's not, then you're going to go right through the door. Because the way this thing's set up, the parent wall basics, it makes it solid, so you can't go through it. That's why you parent it to object wall basics. Do a create, add event, create, then a coded sheet from the code tab. You're going to say all this information right here. This basically scales out your door, so it's going to be, you know, from top to bottom. Make it look like it's 3D, but it's really not. It's just a two-dimensional object. And then the background is going to be background 47. The background here, 47. This is the image I used. Width 128. Height 128. Just going to scale that out. Then I put a step in here. So add event, step. Then I did a var statement in the control tab. This is going to state that global.prisoner info, which I'll talk about in just a minute. Set it to 1 for value, and make sure you set that to equal 2. Do not use smaller than or larger than, it's not going to work. So once, this is what this is saying is, once you collect that one prisoner, then you want something to do something, so it will destroy the door. So it's going to destroy the door once you collect that one prisoner. So however many prisoners you have, if you have 5 in the, in that room, then you're going to say 5 instead of 1. And then you got to make sure this label matches what I'm going to talk about next. Otherwise, it's not going to work. The code's not going to work. It's not going to open the door. So I have it destroy the door. Then if my character comes up to the door, if the door is locked and shut, then you're going to have this move tab in here. It says move free. Direction and speed is 0, so that way you bump up against the door, you're not going to go through it, because right now you haven't got the prisoner. That's what it's pretty much stating here, and the door is shut, so you don't want to go through it. You want to hit up against it but move away from it, and it's solid, of course, so you can't go through it because you just have it set up to object wall basics. Then you're going to have a create an instance message pop up here in the main 1 tab, and that's going to generate the object message 3, which I just talked about. It's going to generate this image right here, collect all prisoners to open door. It's going to show that for so many seconds, and then it's going to be destroyed, or you could have it set to deactivate. Same thing with the second player, which he's only in the second room right now. But I just had that set up just in case if you want to mess around with it later down the road and change things around in the next room. That's all set up. Alright, so I'm going to talk about this global.prisoner info, which I believe is in the prisoner text. Yeah, so this prisoner text box, make sure that that's in the room, which is right here. That's ammo. One of these is right here. This is the prisoner's text. So, I just basically copied what I did. I just mimicked what I did with the ammo. So I set up the ammo. I talked about that in my previous videos. So I just mimicked what I did there to here. So then what I'm doing here is the prisoner text. So it's going to, you want to say do a create, then in the coded sheet you want to say global.prisoner info. You can do anything you want here. You can type in anything you want here. Make sure it's equal to 0. That means when you first start the game, you have no prisoners collected, and you want to basically generate this information on the screen. So that's what's happening here. Then you want to do a draw text. So font, create a font from your font folder, which I've done right here. This is the font I used. So I got the fonts in the, I think the draw tab. Yeah, the draw tab. Dragged over a font, made my selection with the font, left the line, then did a color choice, white, then went back to coded sheet. Someone had made this where they added more tabs here. You're not going to have that information, I don't think, and I haven't messed with any of the newer tabs. I'm not sure what they all do. Okay, so you drag over a coded sheet, and you're going to say draw text dx plus 320 by dy 30. So this is basically aligning your text on screen where you want it at on screen. So at 320 by, this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. So I want this up on the left-hand side, pretty much in the corner almost, but kind of close to the face. And then you type in what you want to call it. You can call it prisoners. You can call it whatever you want. And then you want to make sure that this global information is the same. See, prisoners info, that has to be the same as this create area. So this information here has to be the same. in the draw event. See how it matches. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's not going to show up. It's not going to allow you to collect anything, pretty much. So that has to be the same. Make sure it's minus 1,000. So it's up front. And I think that's it. Oh no, it's not, because then you have to go. I think in the prisoners when the prisoner walks right and left. When I hit the prisoner, if he's moving right, you want to do a var statement. This is also important. Drag over a set var, make sure the information, this is the same, global.prisoner info, it got to match, otherwise it's not going to work. It's got to match what it says here, so whatever you have it say here has to match here in the draw event, and that global information also has to match with the var statement, otherwise it's not gonna work. So global.prisoners info, set it to value 1, so once you collect that one prisoner, then it's going to do something. Make sure you check relative, and then it's going to destroy. I'm going to destroy the prisoner, or I'm not really destroying the prisoner. I'm pretty much collecting him. But if he's moving right, that's what's going to happen. Same thing applies for if he moves left. You have to do both sides, because you don't know you'll hit him when he's moving left. You don't know you're going to hit him when it's right. So you gotta make sure you got both sides selected. So when the player hits the prisoner left, then he's going to collect 1. It's going to generate 1. It's going to display on the screen that you collect 1, and then you're going to destroy the prisoner, which in reality you're collecting him, but he's no longer there. And then, like I said, then if you have collected all your prisoners, then the door will open up right here. So like I said, if you collected the prisoner, then this global thing will say, okay, you're testing the variable here. If you have collected the prisoner and it's equal to 1, then it's going to destroy the door. If you haven't, then it's not going to destroy the door. So that's how you do it. This var information right here is the same kind of setup in a way as this 1, 2, 3 thing, but you have to put in an image instead of a variable. So you have to use this variable over using this 1, 2, 3 count, which is kind of the same setup, but you're putting in an image versus a text. So use the var statement, because it's all code based, and it all is the same information. This information for the variable matches with in the person text, and when you collect the prisoner. And we're not using an image, we're using text versus image, so that's why we have to use this test variable instead of the 1, 2, 3 count. Alright, thanks for watching.